Yeah, that's better. There we go. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. Back up. Ready to rock. One of the first things that we need to assess with our kettlebells is how they are aligned. Most people, whenever they're grabbing their kettlebells, they just take the kettlebells and they just kind of, and they just go, right? That's okay if you're just working out. The philosophy that we're preaching and we're promoting at the field house is a training mindset, right? So you're training the body to connect better with the kettlebells. And there's really just some simple tips that you can use to get better at that. So one of them is going to be when you set up your kettlebells, right? So you've got our double kettlebells. You're using your fist. You're going to set it up to where your bells are about a fist apart. Now, as you get better with this movement pattern, you're going to know that, okay, cool, this is about a fist apart, right? And then when we go to connect the kettlebells and then generate that tension into the body, it's going to feel more efficient, right? So the most important part of your clean and your snatch is going to be your hike. But it's even more important than that is your setup, right? So if we set up and we get to this position where we're loading our hands into those handles, right? So if we go with a profile view, okay? You'll notice that I'm right into it. I'm just loaded right into there. Triceps are engaged, everything is engaged, right? And then if I want to hop into position, press into the kettlebells and then pop tall, right? So now we're loaded nice and strong, okay? So if we go back to our front view, we're in this pistol grip right here, fist apart. Now we're ready to go. So what we want to think about is that we want to think about bringing a triangle into the high triangle, or a diamond. We're going to bring a diamond into that high triangle, right? So right here, we tilt and connect, right? So we tilt and connect, right? So we're right here, we drive our way into the handles, we tilt back, we connect, and then we generate that hike. Okay. Now, hand position with this movement pattern, we're going to make sure that your pinky side is closest to the horn, right? This horn right here. What that's going to do is that's going to encourage your lat to stay connected to prevent any sort of rotation going into the hike, right? So if we go into the hike, we're good. Everything's turned on. As soon as we do this, the whole entire system shuts off. And then that's when we have a back snatch. We might do like this pressing motion right here. Okay? We don't really want to do that. We want to make sure that we're keeping the bells proximal, close to the body. So we're coming close. Okay, so I come out of that high triangle, I extend, I pull that diamond, right, to the body, and then I finish that strong rack position. So, step one to getting better with your foundations is your setup. Step two is that hike. So just do some dead start hikes, right? Dead start hikes are good, right here. Now, as you're doing that movement pattern, it's important that we don't let the butt rise. We can shift the weight, the body weight forward and back. But we don't want to rise, because if we rise, we'll lengthen and we'll lose power in the hamstring. And by keeping our hamstrings loaded right here, we have more leg to extend to help propel. If I extend my hips and then I try to pull, I've just shortened my range of motion and my power output to get the kettlebells into the rack position, right? So we show two, right? We show good, we show bad. So right here, push, good, bring it inside, right? Now, we show back, a little bit more shaky, okay? Now, if you're trying to, get a PR and you're feeling that, it's like you're really trying to curl these kettlebells up into position. Sometimes you may find yourself doing this movement where you're nice and low, but then you come up and you're almost curling the kettlebells, right? So you're coming down, right? And they're crashing into the system. But if you retract those elbows, you get that butt low, right? You're able to use that full range of motion as opposed to that partial range of motion, right? Now, if you are tall, you have long levers, right? So you got to be aware of the length of your arm and the length of your leg to help give you the best clean that you can have possible, right? So, if you're getting to that hike, that setup position, and you're already here, and you've got long legs, you've just set yourself up for a really, really bad clean. Because now you're pushing that thigh into that forearm, and it's causing you to hyperextend. And then that hyperextension is causing that kettlebell to come out and then crash into. Right? So we want to think about that we're generating that kettlebell force into the high triangle, and now we're pulling that energy out to the body, so those handles are coming to the hips, grip is loose, we're finishing in this rack position, right? What that means is that when you're doing your kettlebell training, you do not need to grip the kettlebell so hard, because when you grip things, they don't move. And if we're doing cleans and snatches, the kettlebell has to move. We have to be able to knife our way into that handle smoothly. So if you ever noticed on any of the movement patterns that I do, I typically land with my kettlebells in this nice, loose rack position, right? No need to death grip. And that loose rack position is to help with your transition into another, right? So if we have a loose grip right here and we retract the elbows, the kettlebell is going to naturally fall, right, into this position, right? So if we think about it, right, we're right here, right, we come down, we should still be able to see our thumbs, we pull, we come in. There's a big reason for this. There's a big reason that we want to keep this tension right here, is because when we go to press, right, and get that lockout, we don't want to have our thumb inward. We want to have our thumb, as if we have a ball in our hand right here. And a ball we can't hold like this. So at the top of our lockout, right, we should have our pinky closest to the horn, okay, which is going to help keep the load on the outside of the body. There's no reason to have the load over the head. If the elbow fatigues, then it's going to crash on our head. So if the elbow fatigues here, it's going to come to the rack position, right? So let's just say we're trying to get in, some push presses, and we're under fatigue, maybe going a little bit in hypertrophy, and we're going a little bit to failure. If you have the kettlebells properly positioned, even when you go to a failure, you will fail safely by default. You won't fail bad, right? Because the load is properly positioned. Okay? So now that we've got a good understanding of the clean, right, we're going to talk about the snatch, right? Because the clean is essentially a snatch where we land overhead. Now, a few things that are happening with the snatch is that a lot of individuals are keeping the handles straight, okay? And they're coming straight out in front, a little pull and a punch, and then it's landing kind of awkward. We don't want to land with our hands like this. We want to land right here, okay? Now, if we're doing multiple repetitions and we're doing low volume, I encourage to drop from the top for your movement patterns. However, if we're going heavy, we're going into a round where we're having to use a lot of effort to get these kettlebells up overhead. For safety reasons, I always encourage students to bring it to the rack position. Right? So if we're promoting the philosophy of the field house, which is working up to 70% of your body weight, and we have a 200-pound student, I would recommend that if they take their 32s, they bring them up and they rack and they repeat for repetitions. They don't drop from the top. There's a lot of risk going into your double kettlebell snatch, and it's on those biceps, right? So be leery of that whenever you're trying to do snatches. And you don't need to do too many. Double kettlebell snatch, 5 is a good number. If you're getting into that 10 range, you should be really using a light load, right? It's gonna be good cardio, good ballistic. The only thing you have to be leery of when you're going so high up in ballistic is that your form could get compromised, right? So now we'll get back into where we're doing the double kettlebell snatch, okay? You're gonna finish in this nice strong lockout position, okay? Not here. Now, if your elbows don't lock out like mine, that's okay, right? Finish in the best lockout that you can, all right? And then just work on getting better at your mobility, right? Just like myself, we're all human beings. We all have little quirks and stuff, and it's okay, right? So, how to get better at the double snatch, right? We're going to, basically, we're just gonna feed the same way we do for a clean, okay? We're just gonna finish up a nice strong lockout position, okay? Let me move this back since we're gonna go high now. Shoot it up. So let's see what we got for questions here. All right. Cool. Your last workout. I hope this one's gonna go well. Double kettlebell flow. Thank you. All right, good deal. Good. Hey, Beth, you've been a regular. Very cool. All right, now we got some better range of motion. Cool. So same setup. Okay. Now when we snatch, we're not coming here up into it, right? So we're bringing this energy up, right? So we're not coming here, right? And we also don't want to do this corkscrew thing when we're coming down, right? This corkscrew thing is going to be gear sports, right? Gear sport is typically done, like one arm snatch, okay? Not too often. I don't know if there is a double kettlebell sport snatch, but if there is, leave it for that, okay? If you're using hard style kettlebells, train hard style, okay? When you mix the two, you're going to run the risk of getting injured, okay? And also, if we're doing hard style, we need to finish like this, okay? And then come to that rack position, right? Because we're trying to build a skill right here. So when you double snatch, building skills, bring it to the rack, okay? So we're coming up. We're getting good at our snatch. We remember our start position. We load the body, we tilt it in. Okay, and we bring it down. Okay? The heels should never leave the ground, okay? When I come down into that high triangle, come on. So as I come into that high triangle, I'm remaining patient. I'm not going to rush to get out. Patient. Rack position. Patient. Pop. Rack position. When you start to trust your legs to be the main power source, the main power source for your strength, you will start to get a good understanding. You'll start to get a good understanding of how to lift the kettlebells, right? We lift the kettlebells with our legs. We guide the kettlebells with our hands. That's the mindset you have, okay? If you don't have that mindset, you're gonna have a tough time training with kettlebells. You can work out all day with them, but you're gonna have a tough time training with them. And training is how you get better at something. Working out is how you get a feeling from what you're doing, okay? So if you're looking to get feelings, sweaty and all that stuff, that's cool, that's on you. But if you want to take the kettlebell and get really, really good at it, then you gotta start to learn how to train with it, okay? So that's all we have for today. We worked on the clean and we worked on the snatch. If anybody would like to further dive into the clean and the snatch or the press or the front squats, please reach out to me.
mavericksfieldhouse.com. mavericksfieldhouse.com. Everybody write that down. Okay, cool. Or don't write it down. It's okay, right? And if anybody is in Belgium, come check out Involve Gym. That's where we're at for this week. And we have a workshop this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And you can go to involvegym.com and you can sign up there. I'll be coaching both workshops. So thanks so much for your time. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's 4:20 here. It's probably super early across the pond for you guys. So cheers. Guys, have a good one. All right, what do we have here?